Federalism. One of our 7 principles, took a quiz about it. Federalism, what it is. Looking at the picture, it should help you out a little bit. But it is the power that's shared between the national and the state governments. When the founding fathers were putting together the Constitution, they wanted states to have as much power as the national government. And we will see this in the next slide. What we're going to see is there are things that only the national government can do. There are things that only the state governments can do. And then there are what are called shared powers, meaning both can do it. So let's start with the national only, and you'll fill in your Venn diagram here. Number 1, coin money. Only national government. That's why we only have one currency. Number 2, the post office. We spoke about this. Congress is the one that sets up post offices, but in 1780s, 1790s, post office were extremely important to early America because this was the only way to provide communication between people across distances. If we couldn't communicate well, we would not survive as a country. Anything dealing with the military, declaring war, is national only. Immigration, all immigration stuff, whether it's securing our borders or laws or the immigrants themselves, it falls under the category of national. And then anything dealing with foreign nations, only the national government can enter treaties. Now we'll come across to the states only. States actually conduct all elections. They're responsible for making sure elections are set up fairly, the election sites, etc. Establish schools. For the most part, only states get into schools. There can be national laws, but as far as the setting up of schools, that falls solely to the state, and probably 98% of everything in school is decided by the state of Kansas. Anything dealing with marriage and divorce or adoption is a state-only responsibility. Establishing local governments. So we have national governments and we have state governments. We also have county governments, Johnson County, and then city governments, Prairie Village. It's up to the state to set those up. Then we move to the middle, and these are things both of them do. You'll find this out someday. When you work, you will pay taxes to Washington, D.C., the national government. You will also pay taxes to the state of Kansas. Laws. As we've talked about, there are national laws and there are state laws. For the most part, the laws that we follow on a daily basis, most of them come from the state. Public safety, police. State would be things like highway patrol. National police would be more like FBI, but those are shared, and they're also shared with the city and the county. For instance, in Johnson County, we have a sheriff's department, and then in Prairie Village, they have their own police force. Anything dealing with the justice system, courts and prisons, both the national and the state government are responsible for those. And then finally, roads are done by both of them. These aren't the only things. I tried to pick, we could probably add 5 more in every category. I tried to pick the ones that are the most relevant and the ones we encounter most often.